Hi dear friends, dear students, welcome to Gallant IAS. Some students asked me, Sir, what is the solution to cover modern India easily and effectively? Actually, they are confused with the diversity of sources for history. History is one of the core subjects, a good number of questions being asked, especially from modern India in prelims and mains. So many are confused with the diversity of the sources. There are spectrum kind of the guides are there, or there are books by Biban Chandra, Shekhar Bandyopadhyay, Sumit Sarkar, B.L. Grover. So many books are there, so many sources are there, they are confused. Let me tell you, my dear students, the easiest solution to understand what to study in modern India, what not to study in modern India is check the syllabus and check the previous year's questions, at least last 10 to 15 years previous year's questions you check. Then you study modern India as per syllabus demand, as per the UPSC question demand, previous year's questions of prelims and mains. Based on an analysis of the last 30 years questions of prelims and mains, I will tell you, if you are truly preparing modern India, you start with the decline of Mughal Empire. The first is decline of Mughal Empire, where you have to study the later Mughal rulers and their various reforms and major events during their time, including some historical battles, their causes and consequences. After that, you will come across the formation of princely states in India, formation of autonomous states in India. You should know the most popular princely states of modern India, the rulers and the reforms, the revenue reforms, administrative reforms, or maybe the military reforms, important for you, and the relations with European companies, British East India Company, French East India Company, Dutch East India Company, etc. Then the next module would be British East India Company and how they conquered India, how they defeated other European powers, how they defeated Indian powers, how they signed various treaties with the Indian princely states, and eventually how the British established a colonial India. So British colonialism, British imperialism, that you have to study. Also, what all their major reforms during their rule in India, major historical battles, their causes, consequences, and British imperialism, British colonialism, their implications. After that, you will come across the socio-religious reform movements of India, started by Rajaram Mohan Roy. So Rajaram Mohan Roy, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, or Annie Besant, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. So some socio-religious reform movements are there, reformers are there, their major contributions and their objectives you have to study well. Then it is the company rule, various governor generals and the reforms in India, their administrative reforms, civil service reform, educational reforms, military reforms, revenue reforms, etc. You have to study very well, governor generals and the reforms. Then obviously constitutional reforms from Regulating Act 1773 and that to continue till Government of India Act 1935. That's another core module in modern history. After that, you are moving on to 1857 revolt, the causes, consequences of 1857 revolt. That's again very important. You should know the major centers of 1857 revolt, various causes, social, religious, economic, political, military, different causes, intellectual, different causes of 1857 revolt, consequences of 1857 revolt. After which, tribal rebellions are there and civil rebellions are there before 1857 revolt that you have to study well. Then you are moving on to the birth and rise of Indian nationalism. What were the major causes behind the rise of Indian nationalism, Indian national movement? That you have to study well. Then you will study the formation of Indian National Congress, various theories associated with the foundation of Indian National Congress, safety valve theory, lightning conductor theory, etc. What were the various objectives behind the foundation of INC? Then moving on to the next module, next chapter, which is various phases of Indian national movement, that is moderate phase, extremist phase, Gandhian phase. So you should know what was that moderate phase, what were the major events during moderate phase, what were the major objectives or demands of the moderates, their success and failure or their limitations and major events during their time. Then there is extremist phase. Surat split is there. Then division of these Congress leaders into moderates and extremists. And what was that ideological differences? What were the major contributions of extremists, major events during their time? Then there is a revolutionary phase. Next, you have to study the major revolutionary movements in India and outside India against this British in order to liberate the mother nation. There you have to study Gandhiji's South African experiences, Gandhiji's return to India, and Gandhiji's localized movements like Champaran, Kheda, Ahmedabad strikes, mill strikes, etc. you have to study. Then why Gandhiji? Gandhiji's ideologies, how it was different from the former leaders, and why Gandhiji became a popular mass leader. What was his satyagraha, his ideologies, you have to study well. Then there is like Gandhiji's participation, Rowlatt Act, Rowlatt Satyagraha, after which Khilafat movement, okay, and this non-cooperation movement, etc. you have to study. Then conclusion of non-cooperation, suspension of non-cooperation with the Chauri Chaura incident. Then there is a Swarajist party, Swarajist. Why Swarajist party formed? And what was that function of this Swarajist within the Congress? Then there is a Government of India Act 1935. Then these Congress ministries like government formation in 1937. Congress ministries resignation in 1939. Then there are like Badoli Satyagraha, some revolutionary events during that time. Okay, again you can see, yes, Simon Commission. Then there is a Lahore session of Congress, Purna Swaraj declaration, then launching of civil disobedience movement. Then in the 1930s you have to study, there are some popular peasants movements, there are some trade union movements, and of course the rise and growth of socialism within the Congress, outside the Congress. Left-wing socialism, left-wing nationalism you have to study of 1930s. Some popular peasants movements also. Then there is CDM, launching of CDM, roundtable conferences, then suspension of CDM. So the major developments of that 1930s. Then coming across August offer. Then there is Cribs mission. Then there is launching of the Quit India movement, launching of Quit India movement. Also, you have to check what all those international events which influenced Indian national movement. Then there is a Royal Indian Navy mutiny, Rhine mutiny is there. INA, Subhash Chandra Bose contributions are there. Then there is like a Rajaji formula, Gandhi Jinnah talk is there, Waival plan is there, cabinet mission plan is there, and finally there is a formation of interim government, its a failure, and freedom and partition. So this is the timeline. These all things you have to study from modern India till freedom and partition. You have to study from modern India in this order, just like a various sequence of a story. You have to approach modern India. Try to focus on the previous year's questions. You study these modules as per the demand of the previous year's questions, or you just check how the previous year's questions or how the questions being asked from these modules in the previous years. Accordingly, you prioritize these various modules, these modules, and you prepare accordingly. Okay, so this is the solution I would give to you. if you ask me how to prepare this modern India for your prelims mains examination. But the modules which I told you right now, these are fundamental core modules which you should not miss in your preparation. Okay, thank you.